Dear friends, we are glad to welcome you at Tomsk State University and announce the beginning of new academic year. Very untypical year thanks to the pandemic. And we collected frequently asked questions during our correspondence with those of you who are abroad and are not here physically. And I will speak about the typical situations, about typical precautionary measures that are required in order to make you safe here and to make your stay with us at TSU as fruitful as possible. My colleague, head of the Division of Student Service of TSU, Professor Zhuleva, will help me in that.
Thank you very much that you agreed to answer our students' most typical questions, and I will probably start with the most burning issue of the day. The students would like to know the details concerning the arrival in Tomsk. Are there any recommendations to prepare for the trip or any demands to comply with? What will they need to do upon the arrival?
Well, the first purpose of our precautionary measures was to avoid concentration of students. So we divided the incoming students into several waves. The dates for each wave are yet to be announced because it depends upon the time when the borders will be lifted, when we'll be able to travel abroad and the students will be able to arrive here. When we will have information about that, we will announce when we do expect our students. And my first recommendation is try to follow our information letters, visit our website as regularly as possible. Because if you arrive on time, we will be able to organize isolation period in one of our dorms, which is reserved for that purpose for free. We will feed you there for 2 weeks, also for free. And we will be able to provide the PCR test 10-12 days after the arrival, also for free. But before you arrive here, you should collect medical certificate of your health, that you do not have the infection, and it has to be at least 3 days fresh. No later than 3 days before your departure. And yes, it has to be English, of course. We can translate it into Russian, but it has to be English. And yes, I think that's the most important things. Of course, you have to tell us in advance when you do arrive, so we will be able to arrange pickup service for you.
And the next question is actually connected with the previous one. How will they get food if it is prohibited for the students to leave the quarantine during these 14 days?
Well, as I told, they will be fed for free if they choose the food we could offer. But if somebody decide to buy prefabricated, ready-made food, it will also be possible, but we will pay for the delivery service, for the service itself. Student will be obliged to pay for the food. So you pay for the food and the service is provided by the university. That will be arranged also. And one more thing. I forgot to say that after the isolation period is over, each student has to pass fluorography and visit general physician and provide a certificate of health. Besides, we do strongly advise you to buy medical insurance. We are working with several companies. You will have an offer, you will have a selection, but we know that since students are young people, healthy, active, and they believe that all illnesses and nasty things will avoid them and pass them by. But unfortunately, this doesn't happen in reality, as we expected probably. And especially in the period of pandemics, you should be protected. So please buy medical insurances upon your arrival. Our specialists will recommend you which companies to use, and will recommend you the cheapest options, so just do it.
Thank you very much. It's really very, very important. I completely agree with you. So, well, you have already mentioned all necessary medical examinations for the students, and that's probably it with the quarantine and the dormitory matters. And the next couple of questions will be connected with the educational process. Is the university taking any measures to prevent the spread of the coronavirus?
Of course. Actually, this starts with the letters we already sent to the personal mail. Please read them carefully. Another thing, we located volunteers at each entrance to every university building. They measure temperature with electronic equipment. It's not exactly accurate, but accurate enough so we will have information if a person is probably ill. We made arrows to show how you should move around the campus and especially inside the buildings. So the arrows show which direction you should be following. All the surfaces, tables, all the surfaces where your hands will be located during your class hours are cleaned several times a day with special liquids, and we hired cleaning service, hired extra cleaning service for that. We bought masks, 10 masks for a month and a half, 45 days. They are multiple use, so each mask should be used for approximately 40 minutes, an hour. After that you remove it and use another one. And when you get to the dormitory by the end of the day, you just have to iron them, so they will be reusable after that. But please have several when you are going to the classes. All the classes will be organized in large enough class lecture halls, bigger than 50 square meters at least. I think that large lectures, almost all lectures, but large lectures for several groups, all will be recorded and stored at our university database and delivered in university system Moodle. But seminars, all the laboratory works, all the trainings will be organized offline for the first term students. Second, third, and the fourth term will come later, and we will try to put them and keep them online as long as we can. So the purpose is to avoid concentration of students on campus and in the lecture halls.
Could you please tell how the classes are organized for those international students who are not in Tomsk now?
So I started to tell about that. We created the electronic university Moodle system, which contains first your personal accounts. Yes, your personal accounts. Please try to find out what account you have, use it, and attend your account frequently. Attend your place at this Moodle system frequently, because all the necessary information is there. All the teaching materials and announcements about each class, whether it will be in Zoom or Skype or other form, it's all there. So please use it. Besides, we created special service which we call digital assistants. It's not the digital assistants our software providers use, but it's more or less in line. So these are actual people, other students from your faculty, all the students, I mean senior students as usual, usually, or PhD students, master students. We expect them to help you in all things associated with educational process, technical questions to how to get connected, maybe some questions concerning the contents of particular lecture or seminar also, because that was the special purpose why we've chosen students from the same faculties as digital assistants. And if the group of foreign students is large enough, the department, a department like, well, in the Department of Linguistics we have over 150 foreign students, there will be several digital assistants. We will inform you who they are, their email addresses, their phone numbers, and please use them.
Yes, under these current conditions, we need so many ways to establish these close connections with the students who are abroad now. But the university, it's not just about classes. So it's a complex of numerous things. Is there any way for an international student to get acquainted with the university environment while being outside Russia?
Well, we did not master the system that Harry Potter, if you watched movies, had in Hogwarts. We do not have collective dinners like they used to have. But we created a special database, collected the large online course, Immerse into the University, we call it. It consists of 4 parts. First, it is dedicated to the teaching, educational side, and all the instructions are there, how to use Moodle, how to connect with your teachers and digital instructors, digital assistants. We created a course, English version of it, Immerse into the University, which consists of 4 parts. The first one is about the educational side of things, how to use the electronic system Moodle, and other important issues associated with the educational process. Second is safety on campus, which I told before. The third one is a description of all university resources, research library, buildings, museums, services, everything. And the fourth are videos about the city and about our university. They are good, I mean they're professionally made, and not only professionally, some of them are made by students themselves. And if you use it, I mean the whole thing, it will make you well aware of the university, how it looks, how it works. Well, I think that it's a substitute, of course, but a good one.
Thank you. So let's hope that students will finally get back to our classrooms, and actually you have already started to speak about this. So probably there are some other things we need to know about this process of education, of being at university when distance learning is over.
Well, while it's not over yet, we found out that not all students have necessary devices. The only device many have is smartphone and nothing besides that. And the smartphone is not enough, unfortunately. So we are planning to organize special working places for at least 500 students. They will be dispersed around the university, but most of them will be located in our dance hall, and our concert hall, and our library. They will be equipped with notebooks, laptops. Yes, and the only thing you have to buy is headphones.
yeah.
and the microphones, because these are individual, even intimate things. We just cannot provide that many. So please buy them themselves, but you will be able to use our equipment if you need. Another thing, we bought about 430 special bactericide lamps, which will be located at all the lecture halls and places where students live and work. Not live here, I mean, while studying, not in their personal private rooms, but in the lecture halls. So it will be, I think, enough for safety measures. And of course, if you obey the rules, the usual rules, wear masks, try to wash hands as frequently as possible. When you enter a lecture hall, you will see sanitizers, please use them. And try to avoid concentration of people. Try to keep safe yourself. And the previous spring semester was successful here in terms of safety. So we didn't have any problems, just a couple of cases when a student got infected, 2 or 3 I think, but that was that, and everything was over in 14 days without any consequences. So we try to keep it that way, and please help us.
Well, we finished with the questions. Thank you very much for these detailed instructions.
Thank you.